Hi, I'm David Chen. I'm the writer for Narcosis, which is the debut video game from Honor Code. And we're hanging out here at Cinequest, checking out some cool VR and movie stuff. It's a survival story set at the bottom of the ocean. You play as an industrial diver who's stranded after an accident in this sort of half-ton titanium diving suit. And you're running low on light, you're running low on oxygen, and you're slowly losing your mind. I think as far as VR goes, the story was actually put in place before we were even really aware of the technology as a team. So it didn't fundamentally change it, but definitely it changed the way people experience it. It's a little hard to go into detail without spoiling it, but basically as you're making your way across the seafloor, you're hearing your character recount the experience. But he's talking about it in the past tense, so he's describing not just what happened, but he's talking about how he felt and sort of like the choices he had to make along the way. And all the while you're sort of ensconced in this helmet, that sort of like monitors your how much oxygen you have and sort of how much equipment you have and basically how close you are to dying. And so having sort of this voice sort of bouncing around your helmet, sort of this, in a way, sort of revealing your inner thoughts, I think is pretty compelling. I mean, it's pretty compelling on a screen, but it takes on a whole new level of VR. Right, I think as far as, at least with what we're trying to do, the storytelling, we actually have to be a little more deliberate about when and how we introduce these sort of narrative elements, because VR is such like an overwhelming experience, or like it's so immersive. Like, unlike a standard sort of scripted 2D experience where the director is telling you where to look, using all these things, sort of these cues and images to like sort of guide your vision and tell you when to concentrate, when not to concentrate. In VR, it's like completely immersive all the time until you take off the headset. So when we're designing the game, we have to be careful to balance when we feed in these sort of elements, these story elements, and make sure the player doesn't have too many visual distractions going on, or they're not too stressed out or not too scared, So sort of finding this sort of intermittent balance between action and suspense and horror, as well as times where we just want to deliver the story. Yeah, I mean, we have been working with the Oculus, or VR, but with the Oculus specifically since the very beginning. I mean, it's like it's the story we tell a lot, but it's totally true, which is when the whole Kickstarter thing happened and when it was sort of being delivered, we literally had one of our engineers in France go to another town, borrow a headset, a DK1, put the game into it and try it out, and he's Skyping us and telling us like how amazing it was, and then I had to go find one, and we've been pretty fortunate to like be able to work with all the different iterations of the VR hardware along the way, which has been really cool. I don't know, I mean, it makes us feel like we've been working on this game an incredibly long time, which is actually true because the things have been changing so much. And like it's definitely not a household name or a household term, but like the overall awareness of what it is and like how it works and like the potential is like grown so quickly in what's really a pretty short time. I mean, audio is important in everything, right? Audio is important in filmmaking, it's definitely important in video games. I mean, I think people are definitely aware that audio is harder to sort of understand or process the significance of it, but you definitely notice the absence of it when it's not there. I mean, for example, watching Star Wars without the music, right? It's a completely different experience. For us, because we are creating a first-person experience, like a lot of VR experiences, where we're putting you inside of another person's body, basically, and this person happens to be under sort of like high duress and stress, and they're trapped and they're frightened. I think, yeah, audio is incredibly important as a way of like not only sort of delivering those sort of base emotions like fear and stress and intensity, but like also giving you subtle clues as to when your character's relaxed or when things are okay. It's like it's not just about taking you down there; it's also about bringing you back up and letting you know it's okay to take a break and breathe for a second. Yeah, we do have a release date, and it's funny because we originally were planning on coming out in 2015. Then it was 2016. And it was January of 2017, but we are literally in the final couple days and weeks of production, and we plan to be on the Oculus Store and Steam and Xbox One Marketplace by the end of March. So HTC Vive will be supported via Steam. We're still optimizing that one just to get a little more experience with the Oculus up front. PSVR is definitely intriguing to us, but we're a really small team and we didn't have the resources to tackle all of them concurrently. We're making this game in 10 different languages for 5 different platforms, which is pretty ambitious for a first-time team. But PSVR is definitely next on our list.